Well, we just got done watching Flaming Star. Uh,
The worst.
oh, Lord. Elvis plays a half-breed. His father is a white man and his mother is an Indian. It's another Western, and his name is Pacer Burton. And story takes place in 1878.
Because everybody dies right then.
Someone didn't like the movie.
No.
Okay, so let me just, before we get into the horrible reactions here. So Elvis had just finished GI Blues, and he was, again, interested in being a serious actor. So he kept requesting, or started requesting, roles with either no or very little singing. And so they cast him in this movie and had 4 songs, and he made him cut it down to 2, so he really could just focus on acting.
So that tells you right there that the movie wasn't all that great.
Doesn't really quite tell you that.
I wasn't singing.
He did sing
He
one
was
song.
killing. That's all he did is kill.
Okay, so let's just get started. Tell me what you thought of the movie.
Thought it was terrible.
Why did you think it was terrible?
All killing.
It was
Just
all
killing. And he flip-flopping between being on the Indian side and then being on the white man's side, and he was confused, and he confused me, and just killing and more killing.
Okay, so the story is about discrimination.
It also is very much about discrimination.
And I think if you go through the movies we've been through, all the conflict is straightforward and motivated through the story, and it's very, I don't know, it's all the plot twists and turns are done in a way that are very justified, and it's very conflicting.
Well, the only happy part was right at the very beginning. He got the 2 songs in right away, and then the rest of the time it was...
Right. But, okay, so Elvis's family, he has a brother who is a half-brother, he's all white, and so they're caught in the middle. The Indians were coming to take back their land, the white people were defending themselves, and everyone wanted to know where they stood, and in the end, they kind of had to stand alone. And so they're just, no matter what they did, they were going to have enemies, and it's going to cause trouble. So the conflict's real, and I think the story is fine in that sense. It's just not a happy movie.
No. And I always think of, Elvis having happy movies.
Right, and so...
I mean, his acting, again, is good. I mean, he does serious stuff. I just don't... It's not an Elvis movie to me.
Okay, so that's a good point.
Right.
The formula for Elvis, what you think about an Elvis movie, GI Blues was successful. And so, like I said, Elvis went and asked for serious roles. He got a serious role. The movie just didn't do well because people were wanting an Elvis-y movie. And so he's trying to fulfill his dream to be a great actor, but the box office isn't showing that. And so he's kind of a victim of his own fame and success. They want more of what they like. And so he's going to have one more attempt in the next movie, and then it's probably full steam ahead with Elvis movies because they're not willing to give him meaty roles. But all that aside, I think Elvis did a great job in this movie.
Yes.
He was really good. I dare say it might have been his most believable role and the most acting he's able to do, and I believed him all throughout the whole thing. So it's going to be tough to rate that because the movie in general, I can see why it's not successful, but I don't know. I can't say whether it was a bad movie. I thought the movie was fine. I liked it. But it's, there's the charm of what you're looking for in Elvis movie. It's not here.
No,
So, is there anything else you want to say before you rate it?
Well, again, I like to say that his acting is good. I just don't like the story. So I rate it a 2.
You can rate it a 1. A 1 is like, no, it's not very good at all. Or a 2 is like it's
Though
there's
the
some
story,
charm.
the story, it did have meaning, but and his acting was good, so that elevates it. But it's just not a movie that I would I like or would want to go see, or when I think of Elvis, I don't think of
Yeah, I think
him
two is
killing everything in sight.
two's probably the right one if we're trying to gauge it all. The problem is as we're rating these, I'm having trouble figuring out a consistent rating system. There's the decent movie, then there's the decent Elvis movie, then
Right.
there's acting, and so I would say acting wise, he's up at a 4. But
Acting wise, he's good.
and there's
He's
not
a good actor.
yeah, and the movie in general is a 3, but I wouldn't. I don't know. I guess I'll. It's probably a 2, but it's still, if you want to see Elvis make an attempt to act and instead of just be cheeseball and singing, this is a good flick.
Cheeseball and singing.
Oh, we're losing our light on this too. So
Oh.
anyway, so that's what it is. We're rating it a 2, I guess.
Yeah.
And the next film is called Wild in the Country. I think I've only seen that one once as well.
Sounds like some singing and dancing out in the country.
No, I got a feeling it's a little bit more like this one, but it's
Oh, it's another Western?
no, it's well, we'll have to wait and see. That's a review for next time. So anyway, thanks for listening.
See ya. 2.